You can always, you can always come on camera if you feel good. Please do so. So Priyanka, where are you from?
Ma'am, I am at Noida only.
Sorry, at?
Noida location.
Oh, okay. Nice. What about you, Neha? Sorry, I'm only going by the list that I see the names in the order. Okay.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Neha.
Hi, Neha. Are you also from Delhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me what interests you for the session. I'm sure the speakers would like to know. What is it that you have in mind over here? Feel free, Neha. That's absolutely fine.
Any expectations from the session? You could also put it in the chat if you prefer that. Why don't we just get all of you to just, describe in one word what is it that you're expecting from this session? Maybe you could put it in the chat. Does that work?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. First, Priyanka, I am telling you. Just I want to know about the session. What is the mental wellness? How we can take care of that, because it's a very busy schedule of ours, and we are not able to cope up all those things. So,
Okay.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks for opening up. Anybody else who would like to, mention it, because it definitely helps our speakers. Okay, let me catch hold of Anjali, because Anjali, I see you on my screen. Would you like to talk about something, Anjali? Do you want to put it in the chat box?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Anjali. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Delhi.
Oh, you're based out of Delhi. Fantastic. Is it raining in Delhi? Hi, Parna. Lovely to see you, Parna.
Hello, Ruchita ma'am. Lovely to hear from you too.
Good. How are things going? Nice to see you here. After long, I would say, Parna.
Yeah, I've been busy. So sorry, I'm not turning on the camera. It's not in the best.
No problem. That works absolutely fine.
Happy to be here.
Great. We see people joining in. Vibha, let's go and we should get started. Hi, Nupur. Would you like to share something? Okay, Vibha, over to you.
Ma'am, we have around 32 participants. So shall we wait for another 2 minutes?
Okay, your call. Absolutely okay.
I think we'll wait another 5 minutes. So,
okay.
Thoda sa kar lete hain. I think we will get more people.
Sure. Amit,
because I thought the opening narrative was important for them to understand what, what AFH stands for.
Sure. We'll wait.
I've been doing a lot of studies to actually ascertain what is the best time to do a webinar. And what the books tell me and what the stats tell me is it's usually a work day, mid of the work week, and probably this is the time that it should happen.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that we are waiting for 5 minutes, who would like to come and introduce themselves? Okay, I'm picking up Shivani now. Shivani, would you like to tell something about yourself?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, that's a lot of enthusiasm. I love that energy.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Tell me something about yourself.
Right now, I appeared in 12th and preparing for my college, and I'm from Noida.
Oh, very nice, Shivani. So tell me what's exciting you about today's session?
Like कि how to manage your studies and all the things matlab, you have to work in house also, and as being an elder daughter you have so much responsibilities, so managing all these things and balancing all these things, this thing can help me, and the session like guide me to how to balance and give me a clarity of कि कितना अंडरस्टैंडिंग मुझे अपना बनाना चाहिए और एक मेंटल हेल्थ को कैसे बैलेंस करना चाहिए.
Oh, fantastic. I think that was a very good and honest opinion. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
I think I like the name Rolly. Okay, I think I'm going to go by that because nobody is opening up. Rolly, would you like to introduce yourself? That's a very lovely name.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much uh, for recognizing, the fact that my name is beautiful. You are, I think, the rare of the rarest. That's great. So, yeah, I am Roli Chauhan, and from the defense, I had served for 21 years. Thereafter, took retirement, premature retirement, actually, because of my health. After hysterectomy, I had a lot of issues. So, wherein I actually went to depression. And so, thereafter, when I got this from my ex-servicemen's women officers group, so I thought it's very interesting topic, and why not? Every stage the girl undergoes through a lot of stages of ups and downs. Maybe when you are having your starting your when your germs start at that age. I see my daughter. Then throughout the life, there are so many issues which a girl or a lady undergoes. So I want to understand that how you are getting into the topic and trying to make us understand what is actually mental health and how you can get out of that, how you can overcome certain issues, so that is what interests.
Thank you so much.
Created that much of interest in me. Yeah.
No, thank you so much for giving that honest opinion. And I think we all need to really salute you as well as to Amit for the wonderful work actually you have done, you are doing for the country, you have done in the past. And I think this is something we all owe to all the to the entire community of Brisk Olive who's joining us today. This is just a very small offering that we would like to just give. But thank you so much for sharing your views and joining us today. Thank you, Rodi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I think. Okay, let's pick up one of our supporters here. Ajay Chaudhary, would you like to share something? Ajay ji, are you there?
Hello, Ajay, you might be on mute.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I think
evening. Good
Captain
evening,
Manjula is
ma'am.
here.
Thank you so much, Captain Manjula, for actually opening up and coming on screen. Please introduce yourself. Lovely to see you.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, in fact, for getting me on board. And I feel honored and privileged to be in position to do something for the society. The main basic purpose is that only. And at the very outset, I especially thanks Colonel Mathur sir and Colonel Sunil Prem sir also for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm Captain Manjula Katoch. I'm an ex-ASC officer. And presently, I'm a freelance soft skills trainer. So my journey started with this. So I'm really loving this entrepreneurial journey of mine. It is giving me so much extra time to do extra for the society and giving it back to the society in whatever little way I can. So I'm looking forward to learning and growing with you. And we'll certainly try our level best to do whatever we can do for the society in the larger prospects and women in special. Thank you so much for having me on board.
Thank you. That was wonderful to hear. And
Thank
we
you,
wish you
ma'am.
all the best in your journey. And we are sure. So for you, I would say we have a community which is called as Entrepreneury, that is for women entrepreneurs, either who are aspiring or existing entrepreneurs. But that is the community. And I would also request my colleague Preeti to connect with you. Do let us know what kind of training you take for soft skill. If we come across an opportunity, we'll definitely like to have you. So that is there. Anybody else who would like to? I think the last 2 minutes that we'll wait. If you do not open up, we don't know what you do. And until you open up, you don't know the opportunities that are there. Anybody else who would like to go? I think this is the last one, and then we can get started. Is that okay?
Hello.
Yes, Sarika ji.
Hi, I'm Sarika Gulati here. I'm a proud wife of a martyr. My husband, Colonel Rajesh Gulati, he was a pilot in the Indian Army, and I lost him in a crash in Srinagar. And I run a gas agency in Ghaziabad now. And I mean, I was pretty interested in this workshop. So the moment I got to know about this, so I really felt like joining it. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I was not able to connect earlier.
No problem, Sarika ji. You are a real woman standing here, and our sincere condolences for, on your husband's death. But everybody here, we have a community not alone. And this community was for women who lost their primary breadwinners. Of course, it was more at the COVID time, but we know the journey of women who undergo that kind of tragedy, and how we had anchors who helped them actually come up and, lead a journey where today all of them are financially independent. So kudos to you. You are very strong and brave, and we really welcome you at Aspire for Her. Thank you so much for joining. I think Vibha, let's get started.
Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to you all. My name is Vibha Manohar, and I'm the Operations Manager at Aspire for Her. I would like to invite Ruchita ma'am, Head Partnership and Alliances, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I think I've introduced myself, not with my name, but I've had a lot of conversations here. We at Aspire for Her would really like to welcome our new community, Brisk Olive, over here. Thank you so much, Amit ji, for connecting with us and, kind of introducing this wonderful community. I'm sure there are a lot of impactful stories. Hopefully we can do a lot. I'll give a small introduction about Aspire for Her, since most of you are new members. We are looking at adding 1 million women in the workforce by 2025. Can I request everyone to go on mute, please? And it's a very simple goal, saying that, is it difficult to find 1 million women in India who can enter the workforce? But believe me, what we're trying to do is not just get women in the workforce, but we are also trying to tell them that you need to change your mindset and stay over there. I'm just asking a small question, which I learned it from my founder, but I definitely like to start the session with that, especially the first one. There are about countries, 150 of them, who participate in something called as the Gender Gap Index, what we remove as the report. And this is as per the World Economic Forum. There are countries which participate. and India ranks, any idea is what is India's rank in terms of the economic participation of women in the workforce?
I would say, ma'am, somewhere around 180 out of some 240, 260, something like that.
So we have 146 participating countries. Okay. Okay. Now from there, where do you think does India lie?
I would say around 110, 115, something like that.
You're very positive. I mean,
140s. I
Who-
believe it is somewhere 140s, Manjula.
Manjula, you're somewhere close. Yeah, we are fifth from the bottom.
Oh God.
In a country like India, do you think we deserve to be at that place?
How
Certainly,
sad.
it is a very sad situation. And hence, Aspire for Her was born. We want to motivate women to enter and stay in the workforce. We do it using the power of communities. Entrepreneury is one such community for women entrepreneurs. We have women in college, we have school, we have returnees, we have women leaders. Till today, we only talked about women and careers. It's actually going to be almost the first time when we are getting health into careers, and how your health is also one of the factors that kind of helps you stay in the workforce. I definitely see a fantastic plate of fruits, which also makes me feel hungry. But today's session is with our fantastic speakers. And I think I'm going to hand over this entire platform to them and to Vibha to take it forward. But there's definitely something for everybody from today's session. And we really welcome the community once again. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to also acknowledge the presence of retired Captain Manjula Kotach among us, an ex-army officer and a certified soft skills trainer from Scottish Qualification Authority and a trainer from the National Accreditation Board for Education and Training. Captain Manjula has a vast experience of 21 years in the various walks of life. She has been the face of veteran women officers on various social media platforms and has recently been on News 24 on Republic Day 2023. She has conferred upon the Award of Exceptional Women of Excellence in December 2022. She is a registered motivational speaker of Veterans India Organization. It's our pleasure to have you with us, ma'am. A warm welcome to you. I now invite Amit Mathur from Brisk Olive to say a few words.
Well, ma'am, firstly, thank you so much. Request everyone to be on mute, please. Yeah. So, firstly, I would, just like to say a few words. There's not much because, I'm not qualified to say so much. I would say I would like to hear a lot. There are lot many people over here who are way beyond in this particular domain. But I'll tell you one thing, that I'm actually overwhelmed today because this was one element which was lacking, right? And what Ruchita ma'am just mentioned is, yes, India hasn't really, kind of aligned mentally. They, technology has come in, and women, you don't really need physical strength today to do a lot of things. So that is a solid reason historically to, put women on the platform wherein everyone is equal in terms of opportunity. But it hasn't happened so well because the mindset has been tunneled. It's been tunneled all these years. We in the military did get over it. You can see we have, women officers here. And, that's because our concepts in the military were always towards trying to extract the best out of everyone. So, the right man or the right woman, the right job. So that's what we were able to do. And, that's why I can never ever think about a lady and an officer being different. Or never did I treat a lady officer or a woman officer differently, because it never occurred to her. The point was always that try to extract the best out of the person by being a good example yourself. Unfortunately, we are not able to extend that to the larger community and society. And when such platforms come together, I think there's a lot of energy which flows through. a lot of channelization which happens, and all these young people over here are put on, tracks wherein they are able to exploit their full potential. There is always a dormant energy which needs to be, opened up. And when it does open up, it's a volcano actually. You've seen that. So without saying much, I'm going to thank everyone here to allow us, to enable us to actually align and synergize with AFH and all the wonderful ladies. I'm quite sure that these synergies are going to take us far. And, Manjula ma'am and her team are really going to really put things together in terms of, getting the best that we can for, everyone here. So anyway, thank you so much. And I hope this is a very, very useful session, and many of them in the future too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amit. Okay, so let's start today's session by a few poll questions. Parisha, can you please share the first two poll questions? I request everyone to please participate in the poll.
What are the things you can identify causing you to be mentally stressed? How do you relate mental stress?
I hope you all can see the polls on your screens. Are we done? Farisha, have everyone participated?
60% participated.
Okay.
Can I end poll?
60%. Okay, we'll just wait for a minute. Yeah, I think we can end it. Yeah, so thank you so much for participating in the poll. So now let me introduce our speakers for the evening. Our first speaker is Pooja Roy, with more than 6+ years of experience and a gold medalist in health psychology. Pooja specializes in diagnosing and treating mental and psychological issues. She is passionate about enabling women to live happier lives. Pooja is your go-to expert for everything from stress management, work-life balance, relationship issues, career growth, and personal growth. She has a keen interest in expressive art therapy. Welcome, Pooja. Our second speaker is Dr. Ayushi Shah. Dr. Ayushi has done her MSc in clinical nutrition and dietetics and advanced diploma in physical fitness and weight management. She is a certified diabetes educator. She has 7 years of expertise in designing personalized meal plans and providing evidence-based dietary guidance. She is skilled in assessing nutritional needs, developing strategies, and delivering practical and actionable recommendations. She is dedicated to helping clients achieve their wellness goals and improve overall well-being. Welcome, Ayushi. Over to you.
All right, so are we ready to start? Then before we begin, I just want to again warmly welcome all of you. We have gathered today on a very safe and very connecting community. So many people from different branches are meeting together. Myself, I want to introduce, I'm Pooja Roy from the Josai Experts Panel. At Josai, we're building a growth platform exclusively for women Our mission is to make women be resourceful and in control of their lives, essential pillars, which are health, career, and finance. And today I'm extremely excited with my team members to enable all of you a very important topic of mental health and ways to manage it. All right, so I hope you're ready to start. All right, great. I hope you have beverage beside you to keep yourself hydrated, be tea, coffee, or anything. And with that note, Aishi, over to you. Please do introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayushi Shah. I am a Josai expert. And today our mission is to provide solid support for millions of women. And I'm so happy to share the crucial role of nutrition in fighting mental fatigue. Let's begin by understanding how nutrition plays a magical role in combating mental fatigue. And I can help you with the practical tips which you can apply it in your day-to-day life.
Thank you, Aishi. Thank you for that. Yes, we have two things side by side together. We'll be both dividing the work and doing it together to make it much more simpler for you. As you can see in front of the screen, that we are trying to understand mental fatigue, not only through the understanding of mental health, but also physical health, because our minds and bodies, they're interconnected. We normally feel that it's okay. The consequences, the effects are much more different, but they are actually having a very intimate role. And for that bigger understanding, you just did a poll just to understand how you're doing. Is there fatigue happening? Is there some energy being down? Because let's face it, if you ask anyone the question, have you been exhausted? Have you been feeling down? I'm sure the answer will be uniformly yes. There's not a single individual out there feeling exhaustion, right? And because of that, our gut, our health plays a very important role. If you can see in front of the screen, what are the things that can identify, causing you to be mentally fatigued? Mainly, you will see it's health, work, personal relationships. Now, our programs are always very interactive related. It's not just the expert speaking. I would love people using their audio section, their chat section to open up so that we can make it very valuable, right? We can trigger our consciousness and have this learning. So many of people, you gave a poll. I would love to know, whoever wants to open up, have you identified what is causing you mental fatigue specifically? Health, work, personal relationships? Let's open our communication out here. You can use the chat section or the audio section.
So shall I start?
Yes, please.
For me, it's my own personal reasons that causes me fatigue or mental fatigue. There's no kind of work, no kind of, I can never blame it on others. It is generally me only, my own personal reasons.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. Hamare jo personal reasons hai, that is one of the very big factor of causing mental fatigue. Thank you, ma'am, for being candid. Yes, others, I would encourage you as well. Be candid, open up. What causes you mental fatigue?
So I'd like to go. So my name is Parna Mehta. So I think a few of you know me. So I've been in the community for some time. So I have actually come here to discover what is causing me the fatigue, because I have stress from except for health, which is unknown. Touch wood, I still don't know if that is causing the fatigue. I have some stress from each of the others, work, personal, as well as relationships. And I'm trying to eat healthy, I'm exercising, but there are days when I just feel very tired, exhausted. So I just can't figure out what am I doing wrong. So I try to tick the boxes when I read up, like you need to do this to be positive, you need to do that. I try to do a lot of things, but I still have days where I feel really de-energized and I just don't know what is it. So frankly, I don't know the answer to this question. So I'm here to figure that out.
No worries, ma'am. Thank you for being candid. It's very normal to hear from people not knowing the real reason why the fatigue happens. Thank you. All right. I think we have some symptoms also in front of us. If it helps you to identify more, have you noticed recently, are you having difficulty in concentration, having low energy, decreased creativity? Any one of you, or if not all of you, have you noticed this happening?
Yeah, I have noticed basically difficulty in concentrating and most of the time I'm tired, and I mean, I'm not able to think much what what has to be done for a day. So I always have that confused mind and negativity in my mind every time.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for being honest. Others? Please just open up, be very candid. Whatever you have observed. I can read out the chat section as well. I think some people have said low energy.
If you don't mind, shall I?
Yes.
Yeah, so lately I have been like I'm a mother of a 1.5-year-old. She literally wakes me up every night, but whenever, even if I wake up at like 9 a.m. in the morning, I'll be super tired. I don't, I have somewhere lost my touch to creativity. I used to be a super creative person. I used to write, but now I am not able to do that. I'm not able to concentrate. So these are the problems that I've been facing recently. And when I literally got this mail today in the morning, I could relate so much. And I was like, okay, I have to attend this. I think, yeah, so that would be from my side.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. Yes. So we do have some early signs from which also you can have a better understanding, because mental fatigue, if we break them into components, this is what mental fatigue is. It can be your sleep pattern is disrupted, undersleeping or oversleeping, having nightmares, not feeling like getting out of the bed. So that can be a very big indicator that you are facing mental fatigue. The second can be about productivity. Now, by productivity, we do not just mean work. It can be personal productivity, it can be social productivity, but in general, you're feeling very exhausted, right? Very tired. And yes, creativity. Now, not only for the ones who creative field mein hai, but also for the ones who are doing creative hobbies, like painting, dancing, even cooking, right? So everything, if you feel ki thode se levels reduced ho chuke hai, that means, yes, we are having some mental fatigue. The third is frequent lapse in judgment. That can be आपके लिए decision making. That can be also for you something as a short-term goal. Perhaps आपके लिए वो short-term goal execution is also being difficult. Just to perhaps pick up some groceries or even long-term planning. If you're facing difficulty with that, अगर आप procrastinate कर रहे हैं, अगर आपको मन नहीं आ रहा है, interest कम हो चुकी है, motivation कम हो चुकी है, that means there is a big role of fatigue out there. And last but not the least, of course, continued stress. So हमारे जो body and mind stress feel करते हैं, it's mainly in two levels. It can be short-term stress. अगर हम उसको solve कर सकते हैं, then it's great. If not, it turns into long-term stress. उसके नाम है chronic stress. So from chronic stress, you can face a lot of physical disturbances, emotional disturbances, even thought disturbances. जिसके वजह से you can feel uncomfortable. We keep on using this word, right? I'm not feeling easy. I'm not feeling very all right. I'm zoning out. मेरे फ्रेंड्स के साथ हूँ लेकिन फिर भी मुझे मन नहीं आ रहे. I don't feel okay. I feel like an imposter. जिसको हम बोलते हैं imposter syndrome. So if you're feeling these early signs, then yes, it is important that we understand perhaps you're going through mental fatigue. Now, if I can ask you very simply, symptoms छोड़ दीजिए. In one word or in one sentence, what is mental fatigue for you? Anything else have you noticed? What is mental fatigue for you? No textbook information, koi googled out information nahi, just one simple understanding. Irritable. Thank you. Yes. Apart from these symptoms out here, बहुत सारे symptoms के बारे में हम discuss किए for tracking, understanding. But what is mental fatigue? Just one simple word or sentence. What is mental fatigue? Like someone said, इसके बारे में irritability. Yes. Anything else?
It's very uneasy way of living. It's too much of anxiousness and uneasy behavior entire day.
Absolutely. Yes.
Procrastination also happens when I have mental fatigue.
Absolutely. Yes. Procrastination. Someone mentioned key getting anxious for simple things, anger, being blank, frustration, loss of interest in anything and everything. Good. So आप अपने individual mental fatigue समझ सकते हैं because it can differ from person to person. आपके लिए physical symptoms ज़्यादा हो सकते हैं, किसी के लिए mental health symptoms ज़्यादा हो सकते हैं. So yes. Anything else? Anyone else would like to mention what is mental fatigue for you? feeling lazy even for regular tasks. Yes, mind never at peace. Good. Overthinking. I'm happy to know आप लोग बहुत ज़्यादा aware है because as you can see individual differences. Now mental fatigue is nothing but an overactive brain. अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा overstimulation feel कर रहे हैं, if you're not feeling that freshened up, right, and if you're not taking break for yourself, that's how fatigue arises. And this can lead to procrastination, like someone said, आपकी productivity decrease हो सकते हैं, and something more. But where does it arise from? Now let's look into the factors. What are the factors for which mental fatigue arises? Now there are three important scientific factors. The first is unrealistic expectations. Now let's be very open about it. Don't you feel that we have all unrealistic expectations from the society or internally? What do you think? Are there unrealistic expectations externally or internally?
Yeah, it's there. I mean, you know your capabilities, but then also you expect so much out of the day. I mean, in my case, I have a lot of health issues, but then when I'm not able to finish my task on time, I mean, there are unexpected things I keep thinking, and then I blame everything to my own self. So,
absolutely, yes, that's one example. Unrealistic expectation. Others? आप लोग कभी फेस की कि मे बी एक्सपेक्टेशंस जो अनरियलिस्टिक है इसकी वजह से आई एम गेटिंग फटीग्ड फिजिकली और मेंटली जॉब होम सोशल इवन पर्सनल academics. Anyone else who fell from unrealistic expectations? And remember,
multitasking all the time.
Yes. Multitasking, ma'am. Yes, please go forward. Multitasking. Anyone else who can identify with multitasking? All right. So yes, in short, unrealistic expectations. So when we talk about it, basically हमारे जो belief system है, that belief system, it can turn very negative, thinking everything needs to be done by me very well. Execution बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए. For which, of course, mentally you can take a toll. Now, unrealistic expectations has a very intimate role with perfectionism. If we are very perfectionists, right, we will feel कि हमारे expectations बहुत high होना चाहिए and we should execute accordingly. Yes, pushing myself too much, self-created high bar. This high bar that you're talking about, this perfect standard, that can lead to mental fatigue as well. Now, I have one small question. Do you think perfectionism, it comes from just behavior, or do you think perfectionism comes from thoughts? हमारे जो emotions हैं. Because everyone says perfectionism एक behavior characteristic है. So yes, do you feel like perfectionism comes from just behavior, or it comes from our thinking, society, etc.? Open your consciousness, dig deep into it, and understand why you are not able to come out of fatigue. So yes. Anyone facing very high standards, perfect standards? Behavior? Thought? Someone said from thoughts, yes. Others, same reply? Both? All right. Anything more? Where does this perfectionism come from? Is this just behavior, just thinking, just emotional aspect? Yes. So perfectionism, like someone said both, someone said individually, it is a combination. अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा perfectionism पे focus कर रहे हैं, आपके expectations of course will also be extremely high. So to break that, in short, what we have to do is take care of that reduction of the level, not to be perfect human beings because there is no such perfectionism. Upbringing, thank you, yes. While we are growing up, people around us are always telling, right? Smile all the time. अच्छे से हंसिए, अच्छे से बाहर आप खुद को represent कीजिए. Always be polite, always forgive, always do your things on time. So this is inbuilt conditioning from a very early age. Obviously, irrespective of gender, but especially to women out there, right? So we need to reduce this, be mindful, अपने fatigue को tackle करने के लिए. And number 3, physical health and nutrition, which Ayushi will talk about more in segment later on. But yes, underlying conditions, nutrition and values play a huge, huge role for mental fatigue. Okay. So next time, if you're understanding where it comes from, think about the 3 factors. All right. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. So techniques and strategies. Before we go into very scientific terms, मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ from the audience out there, what are the techniques that you are using? Some techniques, some steps that you use to fight mental fatigue? Yoga, dancing, writing, just taking a chill point of view, vacation. What do you do to fight mental fatigue?
Meditation.
Good. Meditation. Yes. Exercise, sport, listen to music, Zumba. Great. Please use the audio section as well. Me time, going out, others. Keep on just letting me know what are the techniques you use.
The yoga.
Yoga. Yes. Shopping. Yes. Retail therapy helps. Definitely. Music, yoga, meditation are very good. I see so many people doing great activities. Others, keep on contributing. Suppose this is your depository. What are the activities you're doing? Music. Great. What helps you to feel refreshed? Playing with my boy, watching a comedy movie. Someone told me once watching crime documentaries is also fighting fatigue. So yes. Sudoku, puzzles, walks, music and dancing. Great, great. Good. Keep the ball rolling. What helps you to fight your mental fatigue? Sit quietly. Wow of silence, keeping busy, yoga, meditation, art therapy. Good. Awesome. I can see a lot of people doing a lot of things. Dancing, music. Yes. Great. Figuring out the exact reason and letting me out of that aura. Understanding underlying factors क्या है बहुत important है. Gaming. Yes. Good. We have also scientifically structured all these into categories. Walking in park. Nature is number 1, and that's why we are speaking about restorative experiences out here. What do we mean by restorative experience? It's a scientific term, but putting it very simple, from the word you can understand, it means resting. Resting your mind, your body. Because remember, even your brain needs to rest. It's not just your body muscles, right? वो भी एक muscle है and it needs to rest. But restorative experience, unfortunately, हमारे modern generation में, especially in this advancement of technology from pandemic onward, we have changed the definition of restorative experiences. So let's do it organically and very naturally. What is actually real restorative experience, not the superficial ones out there. So you mentioned your ideas and thoughts of resting. Now let's dive into the different kinds. All right. So restorative experience are of 5 categories, mainly 5 categories. All right. First is natural. Natural as in nature. Many of you said perhaps nature is your therapy. Nature matlab aap gardening kar sakte hain. You can take a walk. You can also just sit and observe the wind, the flowers, the trees, right? The grass, which is green. So when you're exposing yourself to nature, if you don't have greenery outside, many of my clients mention, obviously in modern cities, hum bahar nahi ja sakte for our work culture also. You can have a small garden in your balcony or in your rooms. So greenery exposing is very, very important for resting your sense organs. Hamare sense organs always activated. It's never getting any rest, be it from technology, be it from communication constantly. It needs its rest. So nature activities you can do to help your body and mind to be very much refreshed. Number 1. Number 2 is self-care. Now self-care is of various kinds. वो आपके लिए parlor हो सकते हैं, वो massage हो सकते हैं, getting a haircut, anything. But let's explore the other kinds of self-care as well. For you, self-care can be just sitting quiet, like someone said, silence. For you, it can be journaling, as in writing down आपके जो thoughts आ रहे, आपके जो emotions आ रहे, having reflection, and that is your self-care also. Or it can be just taking a very long shower, very bright, amazing shower with some good music on. Candles, yes, be careful though. You can definitely have candles. But for you, your self-care is different. So engage in your self-care, right? Number 3 is physical activity. Now, by physical activity, we mean, all of you beautifully said, it can be yoga, it can be meditation, it can be dancing, it can be Zumba, it can be anything and everything, skipping, walking, strolling, jo aapko pasand hai. That is number 3, physical activity. Number 4 is, of course, social experiences. Like someone said, getting involved with my little kids, right? It can be your partner, it can be your family, anyone, right? It can be also your mentors, aapke jo teachers hai, aapke jo classmates hai, anyone. So the more you involve yourself in just social experiences which are not draining for you, जो आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा enthusiasm ले आए, that is important. So please be very mindful, okay? And last but not the least, creative experiences. Now by creative, like we're talking about, वो आपके hobbies हो सकते हैं. It can be your painting, it can be reading a book, like someone said, puzzles, Sudoku, right? Anything and everything which helps your creativity to come out. Cooking also, all right? Even cleaning home is a creative aspect. वो भी आप कर सकते हैं. But many clients of mine mention कि if we binge watch, all right, if we listen to music all the time, even that is rest for me. So I have a question for all of you. Do you know when to plug in with smart devices, or do you not know when to plug out? Be very candid. Do you keep on using your smart devices for rest, binge watching, binge listening, or do you know the difference between the two? Take a few seconds, think about it. Are you using your rest experiences with technology, or आप divide कर रहे हैं आपके rest experiences with the categories that I just mentioned? You can use the chat box or audio section, definitely. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Yes, find it difficult to disconnect from tech. Thank you. So yes, you can see यहाँ पे थोड़े से mixture आ रहे हैं, right? On or off. Yes. Thank you for being candid. The more you can be honest, the more we can take care of these patterns. Yes, tough to get out of tech. This has started from pandemic. Pandemic के time से we got so used to having smart devices all the time, we forgot how to plug out. So please be careful, because that's not a rest experience per se. Okay. The more आप लोग physical activities कर सकते हैं, which don't require the smart devices, that's actually refreshing. Okay. Our brain waves, हमारे जो brain waves है जहाँ से बहुत ज़्यादा stress आते हैं, that remains activated. So even if you shut off the screen, your brain waves are still activated. So please be careful and be mindful of your devices. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being very candid out here. Next technique is, of course, yes, we talked about breaks. Now we are talking about expectations. Expectations बहुत categories में आते हैं, right? We talked about individual expectations, work expectations, आपके जो health expectations है, social expectations है, etc., etc. But we need to understand आपके unique expectations क्या है, because it can't be similar. For me, maybe one day my expectation is, okay, I'm going to take care of my health. लेकिन आपके लिए different expectation आ सकते हैं कि today perhaps I might give more time for my social obligations, मेरे जो social responsibilities है. So it's very important, be the beginning of the week या आप weekend में भी थोड़े से time लेके figure out कीजिए कि आपके needs क्या है. Needs means आपके necessities क्या है, आपके priorities क्या है. So once you have a list of your needs, emotional, physical, social, thinking, spiritual, religious, बहुत सारी categories है, list them down. फिर उसको prioritize कीजिए. Prioritization as in, maybe Monday is a little bit more important for work, then Tuesday, it will be a little bit more important with my health. So prioritization after your needs are spelled out is very, very important. So that accordingly, आप खुद को ये expectation बता सकते हैं कि it's okay. I could not do this, but I have the rest of the week. I have the next week to take care of my expectations. Don't be hard on yourself. Do not be a perfectionist thinking, मुझे एक दिन में सब कुछ ठीक करना है, all my needs, because that is humanly impossible. Okay. And yes, please let go of perfectionism. Please remember, we are all humans. हम vulnerable हैं, हम weak हैं. No matter how much we don't want to be weak, but we are weak. We have to rest well. We have to put less pressure on ourselves. So next time when you feel कि okay, I need to do all my goals, ask yourself, is it because I'm being a perfect human being? Are my standards really raised? Then इसको थोड़ा सा आपको reduction करना पड़ेगा only after you're being very, very vulnerable and open with your expectations. Just like you will be with your child, right? You're teaching a child कि नहीं, all the burden is not on their shoulders. All right. So that was 2 techniques scientifically proven. Let go of your perfectionism and understand your needs. All right. Third is setting boundaries. Let's again be candid for 1 minute. Do you know boundary setting? Can you easily say no, or do you struggle to say no? Do you pause before you say yes? Do you take some time, or do you readily say, it's okay, I can do it? Struggle to say no. Thank you. Others? Fully confident with saying yes, no, or do you struggle? Struggle to say no? Hard to say no sometimes, mostly say yes. Good. Are you getting better or do you feel ki levels abhi bhi same hai? It's stagnant, no improvement. Mostly say yes. Struggle to say no. Earlier was struggling, but not starting saying yes. Good, good. Okay. So the third scientific term, struggle to say no depending upon the person in front. Yes. If you want to take care of your expectations, you need to learn to say no. Okay. Just like you will teach your child कि सबको yes नहीं बोलना चाहिए, आपको भी rest बहुत ज़्यादा important है. Treat yourself like a child. Don't treat yourself always like an adult. We all have a child within us. So stop saying yes readily. You have the right to pause. You have the right कि आप बाद में भी आपके answer दे सकते हैं. You can say, can I just check? I'll get back to you. Is that okay? Just let me get back to you after this work. Is it okay if I can do it with you next week? So there are ways to say no. You don't have to be rude. Because most of the times we feel कि हम बहुत ज़्यादा rude हो जाएंगे. We will not be able to have that person in our life. But if you're constantly saying yes, please be honest. Are you having healthy relationships with yourself? Forget about others. But are you having a healthy relationship with yourself? You're constantly saying yes and not saying no. What about your relationship with yourself? Mental fatigue happens from others, but it happens also from us. Do you know that your relationship with yourself is the most sacred one, right? So आप खुद के लिए सबको कभी-कभी no बोल रहे हैं या नहीं? Think about it. If this line strikes you, then practice it for yourself. Practice it for the little child growing still inside of you, saying, please give me some rest. Please don't go ahead and please anyone. All right? So learn to say no. Pause. Don't have to immediately get back. Take your time because it's your right to take rest. Okay, so that was our scientific third step, which is setting firm boundaries. I hope we're clear till now. The last segment from my part, which is mental fatigue is not burnout. Guess what? Every one of you can take care of your burnout only if you have early prevention or precaution. What is the difference? Have you noticed or do you know what the difference between fatigue and burnout? Do you know what's the difference? Don't have to Google it out. Just asking. If you don't know, no problem. I'll tell you. But do you know if there is a difference between fatigue and burnout? Yeah. If not, that's okay. You're here to learn then. See, the very big difference is fatigue whenever we are not feeling okay. Last stage of fatigue. Yes, last stage of fatigue is burnout, right? So whenever you're facing fatigue, you can get up, you can bounce back. आप वापस आ सकते हैं आपके work front, social front if you take rest. But burnout doesn't go away with just resting. Once you reach that stage of burnout, it's chronic exhaustion. आपके system break down कर चुके हैं from your mind to your toes actually. So if you're facing fatigue, that means you still have time to take care of burnout. तब medication भी कभी-कभी इस्तेमाल करना पड़ता है because our body cannot function on its own. So fatigue goes away with rest. Burnout doesn't go away with rest easily. Number 2, fatigue is the first stage जो आपकी body आपको reminder दे रहे or your mind that hey, you're stressed right now. Take precaution right away. Because from here, if burnout happens, there are more serious physical and mental health conditions. Mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, etc. Okay, and physical health conditions like even diabetes, like even BP. As I mentioned, mind and body is interconnected. So fatigue might not give you physical health or mental health conditions that seriously, like in burnout, aapko de sakta hai. Okay. Actually, that is the thing I've understood now. Someone has said that self needs to be given clarity at times. Burnout is to give up. Fatigue, we also feel like giving up. But yes, burnout is absolutely, I can't do it. You might even feel like crying, thinking कि मुझे job में जाना है, मुझे academic करना है, मुझे मेरे दोस्तों के साथ मिलना है. The things that make you feel great and refreshed, that itself will start being depressing to you. So this is a difference because people come to our sessions batate ki I'm burnt out or I'm fatigued, but it's actually reversed. The person who is feeling fatigued, they have burnt out. Who haven't burnt out, they feel fatigued. Okay. So these were two main differences for you to navigate yourself. And with that note, thank you. And I give it now over to Ayushi for taking over the nutritional part. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pooja. I hope everyone is here and everyone is hydrated before I start. Great, good to hear that. So as we start with this journey about nutrition, you know that your nutrition is in your kitchen. So I hope this helps you, and I give you tips which you can follow it on a regular day-to-day routine. As we begin, the magic of nutrition to strike off mental fatigue. First thing would be to, does anyone feel like, okay, when you have food, you have better energy levels? Anyone?
Of course, always.
And specifically when you are stressed out, do you feel ki, okay, I can, when you eat something that you like, it manages your craving and you feel less stressed out? Anyone? Oh, I see a lot of answers in the chat. Great. So the first thing that happens to maintain our energy levels, or when we are stressed a lot, we go towards our food. That is our comfort. When we have good amount of food, we do have better energy levels and we can think lot better. That is one thing. Secondly is your oxidative stress. As I discussed about how stress affects our health and how we go towards towards food, so that we don't have mental fatigue, so that we can concentrate better, so that we don't feel depressed. So this is how food is linked to your stress levels, and this is how stress is managed by us. How we can manage our mental fatigue would be by taking correct nutrition, which helps in managing our neurotransmitters. Have you heard about dopamine?
Yes.
Great.
Happy hormone.
Yes, correct. Happy hormones. To produce those happy hormones, we need to have proper balanced meals. So unless and until we don't take proper balanced meals, we end up eating more of food which is into junk and which does not promote neurotransmitters. And still, after a certain duration, we start feeling fatigue, we start feeling anxiety, we start feeling depressed. And at the end of the day, we are into the same loop of mental fatigue. So having a balanced nutrition, right nutrition, having fruits regularly, having a proper balanced meal in the form of carbs, protein is equally important. Now coming to your foods rich in vitamins and minerals. Why we say that vitamins and minerals are equally important? As Pooja mentioned before, that nutrition and physical activity is important, but there are underlying causes which causes mental fatigue. For example, iron, magnesium, vitamin B12, vitamin D. These are the 4 important nutrients which are important to understand that you are facing mental fatigue. We all know there are things like there is work stress, there is metabolic stress because of your health condition, but it could be also because of certain deficiency of nutrients that you face this issue. The list which I've told you is equally important, specifically for a woman: vitamin B12, iron, and vitamin D, because we are most of the times working from home, because we are managing our house, we are managing our kids, we are managing the whole house, and also work. These are the 3 things that we are managing, and also consistently our brain is getting utilized for the same. So I would suggest that if you are facing mental fatigue more often, then check for these parameters. Now, coming to your hormonal imbalance or how hormones plays a major role. One thing that I would like to know that is anyone facing with conditions like diabetes, thyroid, or are on the verge of menopause right now? Anyone?
I'm at pre-menopause stage.
Yes. Great. Good to hear that. And I would tell you how it affects your moods and cravings. Others, you can type it in the chat also. Have you checked for your parameters recently?
For me?
No. I'm
Okay.
asking you
Yes.
in general. Okay. Hysterectomy. Yes. So when we talk about these things, there are 4 things that I always look out for. First thing is, how is your thyroid health? Secondly is your specifically when we talk about thyroid health, your diabetes, then is your menopausal, premenopausal, postmenopausal, because there is an hormonal imbalance. When we talk about thyroid, we do see there is an imbalance of your thyroid hormones, that is T3, T4. Then there is estrogen and progesterone levels, specifically during a premenopausal stage or during a specific menopause stage. So it affects your health, it affects your menstrual cycle, it affects your mood, because these hormones are also equally responsible for your mental fatigue. Specifically, when I talk about cortisol levels are something which affects, it is when your adrenal gland gets affected, there is a production of cortisol levels. If there is high cortisol levels, it is because of stress too. It contributes to brain fog, difficulty in concentrating. Then there is less creativity. I heard one of the person told that she is facing less creativity, or she's not able to think as she was thinking before. It could be because of stress levels. Maybe she does not take stress, but there is an underlying cause of internal stress that is going on. So when we talk about these hormonal imbalance, how it affects our day-to-day life, first thing is cravings. Either you have sugar cravings or you have salty cravings. So we need to look out for those things. If we have sugar cravings, we should not end up ordering food from outside, like a piece of cake or something like Indian sweets, specifically gulab jamun or rasgulla, because
Blueberry
I have seen.
cheesecake.
Sorry, yes,
Blueberry cheesecake.
Yes.
My God.
Yes. So these are the quick and easiest option that we think of ordering when we have sugar cravings. And if you have noticed, I would like to know from you, when do you have sugar cravings a lot? Which part of the day?
I can't say which part of the day. It can be any time. Generally during the evening.
Evening time is the highest. Afternoon from post 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. we have the highest cravings. Okay. Have you noticed why? Or have you seen your diet or how it happens?
Maybe because during the day I try ki nahi khana, and towards the evening I really I give up. Ki nahi ho raha. I can't control my urge, and then I have to order, or I have to make it or eat it, whatever.
Yes. So that is that. Okay, it is morning mein we suppress our eating pattern ki nahi khana hai, but that is not the correct thing. Sweet and salty cravings equally we crave for in the evening time between specifically 4 to 7. And अगर by chance खुशबू आ गई समोसे तलने की, तो फिर
you're gone.
Yeah, then you will give in for that cravings. So I would strongly suggest, and I have implemented this in my day-to-day life, because being a dietitian, I have myself faced this. अच्छा ये time पे तो है ना बहुत खाने का मन कर रहा है, What I do best work for me to manage my cravings is specifically sugar cravings to include dates and anjeer. That helps in managing my cravings for sweet. For salty, I always grab options like makhanas or roasted chana or peanuts or even khakras. These are the best helps in managing your salty cravings specifically. And meals in such a way that you don't end up eating in the evening time the most, like you give in for your cravings. Because when you're given for your cravings regularly, you would see that second point would be weight gain.
Yes.
At times, you see weight gain on your weighing scale. If you have noticed, anyone notice कि अच्छा मैंने इतना खाया मेरा weight gain नहीं हो रहा है, सिर्फ हो रहा है.
वेट गेन नहीं हो रहा है?
नहीं, बट स्टमक पेट बढ़ते जा रहा है.
नहीं, वेट गेन भी हो रहा है और पेट भी बढ़ रहा है.
ओवरऑल बॉडी लुक्स लीन बट माय स्टमक इंक्रीजेस. मुझे पेट की चर्बी कम करनी है. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट इट और हैव यू फेस्ड?
आयुषी, पूरी बॉडी में चर्बी है, किसी पर्टिकुलर जगह की नहीं है. वेट गेन भी है एंड ब्लोटिंग भी है. सब यू नेम अ थिंग दैट इज देयर इन मी.
No, it happens.
agree.
It happens to me. It happens. So I will not put on weight. I will look overall lean, but my stomach would be bloated, and I feel my clothes are tightened up and all that.
You answered the question well. Even Manjula and Shwenaka had answered bloating. Bloating is the culprit over here, that you feel कि पेट भरा भरा सा है, and after many days of contributing of eating outside food, you end up gaining that fat, unwanted fat near your belly areas. Belly areas, and specifically for a woman, belly areas in lower areas where we contribute more fat percentage. So we need to be very much be careful about what we eat, what are our food choices. Okay. Then when we talk about hormonal imbalance, there are low energy levels. We feel tired throughout the day. क्योंकि आज कुछ काम करने का मन नहीं कर रहा है. Specifically when I talk about thyroid and premenopausal women, they feel कि the metabolism is slow that we end up just we feel like कि कुछ काम नहीं करना है. मैंने morning में, it's like just I prepared my meals and I don't want to work on my laptop, because you face low energy levels. And when this happens, because you're having your meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner is there, but small meals like fruits intake or evening time meals, if we are not including, we have energy levels are low, and also we feel anxious. I have noticed one thing, that the highest when we feel anxious is during the night time, because we are mentally at peace post completing our work, but still we are anxious about okay, how we will start our planning for the very next day. And during that time, we have the highest cravings of having food, and we go to our phone and order Swiggy. We go to Zomato, we order food from outside. Either it could be momos, it could be Chinese, because these are the highest food things that we order from outside, which helps in managing our salty cravings, specifically at night. So yes, one of the things that Rolly mentioned, that you are active till the lunchtime. Post that, as evening starts, you first thing went in for your cravings. Secondly, it lowers down your energy levels. It also matters over here that what we eat is equally important. Generally, as we see our Indian diet, we mostly given with rice and chapatis throughout the day. If ये दो चीज होगी diet में, it will be more of carb based. Carb based रहेगा, we will feel fatigue, or we will feel low in energy, we will be laid back, we will feel like doing nothing. So that is the reason we ask you to include balanced meals like carbs and protein into your diet. So as I said, balanced meal in terms of carbs and protein. These are the 3 nutrition approach that you need to go in for. Like essential nutrients for your body, as I told you, carbs and protein. Protein contributes to your muscle mass. See, the options which I gave you for your evening snacks, like roasted makhanas, quantity matters a lot over here. Roasted chana. Chana are a rich source of protein. Khakras are a rich source of carbs also, but also it helps in managing your protein through it. So you need to give into that. Secondly, if you are eating fried foods, instead of fried, select for air fried option or chaat options like chana chaat. So when you have foods like chana chaat, have you ever tried that it helps in giving in your cravings? Or कि अच्छा चटपटा बना लिया या चाट मसाला ऐड करके बना लिया? Does it help in managing your salt cravings?
Yes, yes, it does. It does. Actually, you feel full for a longer time and you don't feel hungry.
Yes,
again and
yes.
again. Yes.
So that is the trick. That okay, evening snacks ki cravings bhi ho gayi, and it keeps you full for a longer duration. Secondly, when we talk about food eating mental brain function. See, brain function is important because we are talking about fatigue. There are 3 important, you say neurotransmitters, that is your dopamine, your serotonin, and your GABA, that is your aminobutyrate. These are the 3 important neurotransmitters which are required for your brain function. So how you can get dopamine? Specifically, the options, that nutritional options that I'm telling you, first thing would be your dairy products, then would be your rice, then comes your almonds, walnuts, soya bean. So these are the options that helps in producing good dopamine, and it gives a feeling of goodness to you. Then second is serotonin. Serotonin is specifically responsible for giving you depression, anxiety, fatigue more often. You face more of brain fog, and serotonin is responsible for sugar cravings. So all the people who have mentioned over here that they have sugar cravings, serotonin is the responsible neurotransmitter.
Okay.
Okay. So specifically serotonin-rich food or foods which boost your serotonin and helps in maintaining its levels into your body. First and the foremost thing can be done is pumpkin seeds. Okay. You can always use mixed seeds. See, practically speaking, mixed seeds, trail mix you get easily available. So you can include that. Include more of pumpkin seeds during that time. Then include soya bean again, and also white beans, which helps in producing good serotonin levels into your body. And oats. Have everyone tried oats over here?
I don't like oats much.
Okay. Anyone else? Does anyone like oats or preparation of oats? Okay, granola, say, okay, that is also a good option where you include all the things together. Yes. And I would like to know that in which form you all have included oats, in the form of porridge, in the form of preparing an atta, how you have included? Anyone? You can just type it in the chat also.
I've only tried as a porridge, but I never liked it. So I don't eat oats for porridge.
Okay. So oats porridge, instead of taking oats porridge, there is other option that you can take oats into your milk, can also be taken, or you can include it in the form of khichdi too. Just add oats with moong dal and prepare a khichdi, or prepare oats atta. You just have to blend it and mix it with your roti. You will not even come to know that you are having oats roti.
Okay, so it is good for my serotonin level. That means
yes, it is good for your serotonin levels. It is good. It is a complex carbs which helps in managing your cravings specifically.
okay, I'll surely try this.
Yes, and you can also include it in chila. Thank you so much, Farisha. I forgot about it. Oats with besan chila. Oats and besan chila. That is the easiest and the tastiest option. Quick, easy, and you can have it either in your breakfast, in your evening snacks. You can surely include that. Then the third one is your GABA that I say, gamma amino butyric acid. It is specifically responsible for low, anxiety and also low concentration. And thirdly, poor verbal memory. When we say poor verbal memory is when we are talking about something, but still we are not able to complete a sentence because we were thinking about it, but we forgot during while speaking. So we need to work on it, and we need to include vegetables and food, which will help in promoting this so that we have a better thinking. We don't face, we do not forget about things, and also improve these levels. So foods which we can include over here is your beans, cabbage, then spinach, parsley. These can be included by adding it into your meals. Then there is like specifically when we talk about beets, spinach and parsley, spinach out of which we can prepare parathas. Normally spinach paratha hum prepare karte hain. Beetroot raita can be prepared, or boiled beetroot salad can be added into your diet. That can also be taken. Then comes your organ meat or meat and poultry is also equally important.
Sorry, just clarification, Ayushi. Do we
Yes.
need to boil beetroot? I love eating beetroot raw as a salad.
Surely you can include it, but I would suggest that when you partially boil it, it helps in managing your carbs, because beetroot again is an underground vegetables which are rich in carbs, and we end up eating more. So I always advise, rather than having it in the raw form, partially boil it and then have it.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. I'll keep in mind. Thank you.
Yes. And coming to your last point, how we can manage our energy levels along with food by including balanced carb, high in protein, low in fat, which will help in maintaining your energy levels. But along with that, physical activity is equally important. Okay, like someone suggested that they, for improving their health, or to have a better clarity, of about few things, for increasing their creativity, then better thinking, people do physical activity. Simple physical activity like walking, Zumba, meditation. Even of studies have proven that even if you are able to do it for 15 minutes, it helps in promoting dopamine into your body, and you can think better, faster, and you can implement that in your day-to-day life too. Okay. Now the checklist and the food that are important. I have mentioned many things when we were before in this slide, but yes, specifically when I talk about B12 levels, B12 levels are low nowadays. People who are consuming vegetarians or non-vegetarians both. Okay, so I would suggest that try and include green leafy vegetables, legume, nuts, mixed seeds, eggs with the yolk, not the egg whites. Egg whites with yolk can be included, which are rich source of vitamin B12, and also lean cuts of meat that needs to be included into your diet. Iron. Iron is low specifically in India. Most of, like 40% women face iron deficiency. So it is better to include meals which are rich in iron, like poultry, fish, chicken. These are the best sources of iron that can be included. Other vegetarian sources like beans, lentil, spinach, or cereals which are fortified with iron In India, there are hardly any options of fortified cereals, but surely when you include vegetables and beans on a regular basis, try and add simple lemon to it. So even if you're having leafy vegetables, even if you're having soups, porridges, like salty porridges, or preparing sabzis or dals, you can just add dash of lemon to it, which will enhance your iron absorption. This is a small tip specifically for for people who are vegetarians. That will help in better absorption of iron. Have you heard about flax seeds? Or have you heard about what mixed seeds like chia seeds, flax seeds? Then we talk about pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. Have you do you know about it? Do you consume it on a regular basis?
Yes.
So do you know why it has been advised to people?
A lot of protein rich, and then maybe fiber also, flax seeds and
Yes.
seeds are
Not protein rich, but yes, rich in fiber and
Mhm.
also rich in omega-3, omega-6 fatty
Yes.
acids.
Mhm.
See, specifically when we talk about women's body composition, first thing, women's have high fat percentage, so they have higher chances of facing of when we talk about higher chances of facing with metabolic conditions like thyroid, diabetes, because when we have thyroid, diabetes, there are higher chances of you facing with mental fatigue, brain fog, because our hormones are not under control of ourselves, because there is an imbalance of hormones, because all days are not the same for us. For specifically for women, we undergo a lot of stress. It is work stress, managing your house, managing your kids. So it does affect all these things, and we need these small omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids. Our brain, I say specifically, it helps in improving your brain function, which will help in reducing your any kind of specific fatigueness or anxiety. So that is the reason include these foods: mixed seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, tofu, broccoli, cabbage, soya bean, rajma. These foods can be included on a day-to-day life. Complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates specifically is mentioned. Do you have whole wheat bread or multigrain breads on a day-to-day basis in combination of sandwiches or something like that? For your breakfast, do you have breads? Anyone?
Bread I generally do away with. I just like omelets.
Okay. You are making a good choice. Instead of bread, you could select for something else. Like instead of bread, you could take rotis for a better complex carbs, because the breads which we get it outside is made out of maida. 30 to 40% it is made out of maida. The remaining 50 to 60% is wheat. But the quality of wheat also matters. So yeah, and sandwiches is something that everyone likes, but how you combine is more important. 2 bread slices are rich in carbs, but what you add between those 2 slices is important. Like, are you adding eggs? Are you adding vegetables to it? So it helps in giving you managing your carbs also, and giving you better results too. And it helps in keeping you full for a longer duration, so that you don't give in for your cravings. Specifically, when we talk about your evening time, have you experienced having sandwiches in the evening is the highest? Has anyone experienced that specifically over here? I do see that brown bread sandwiches is something that people like a lot. Moong dal chila is a good option with poha and poha. Stuffed roti a very good choice. Yes, that is a very good choice. Poha, oats, quinoa, couscous. My audience is well educated and do include all these things over here. So I'm so happy to hear that. But I hope that you include it on a day-to-day basis so that it does not affect your mental health. It helps in managing your routine well. And you don't give in for cravings specifically. Now, the food options that you can take it on a day-to-day basis. First, everyone agreed with me, like nuts and seeds are the quick and easiest option that can be included, like the trail mixes that can be taken. Energy balls. You can prepare healthy laddus at home. In winters, we do prepare methi ke laddu, then we do prepare pinni. So does anyone prepare those laddus?
Yes, yes.
Do you
So much
find it
fond of-
tasty?
Yes, very much. I have a bad sweet tooth. See, Ayushi, if I am not wasting much time, I'm a triathlete. I love running, cycling. I do a lot of things. But the only
Yes.
problem with me is I have a bad sweet tooth. I don't have any craving for salty food or food rich in carbs. I can do away with my roti, with my bread, all these things. But when it comes to sweets, no, then I can't control. So all my efforts are going waste because jitna bhi kar loon, bhag loon, dod loon, I am controlling my food, everything. So bas just one dabba of blueberry cheesecake and I'm gone. So that's my problem.
Okay, so I would strongly suggest that check for your magnesium levels.
Okay.
Because at times we have the highest cravings when we have low magnesium levels in our body.
Fine, I'll
Okay.
certainly do that.
Yeah,
I'll
so check for that nutrient. And other than that, if your meals are not balanced, if you're not taking good source of protein, and if you're taking carbs into your diet, carbs are the easiest source of energy, which is well absorbed easily into the body, and then comes your fat and protein. So if your meals are not balanced, it is going to affect your cravings. It is going to give you more of sugar cravings, and you will end up eating cheesecake more or just motichur ke laddu. That
I
is
love
the
that.
favorite.
Anything meetha I love. But then it is
Yes.
other way around, Ayushi. Rather than carbs, I take protein rich diet and carbs are less.
That is see, as you said, carb rich diet nahi hai, protein rich diet hai. Then check for your magnesium levels once.
I'll get it. Sure.
The other quick and easy option nowadays, people do have hummus and vegetable sticks. Quick and easy option. Just have that. You get you can pre-prepared hummus and keep it for 2-3 days in your fridge. If you're feeling hungry, you can just prepare chickpeas hummus and have it with your carrots. You can have it with your cucumbers along with it, bell peppers. So you can just have it on the go also. Even if you are traveling, you can just carry these things. Look out for the weather specifically. But yes, see what happens when we are traveling, we do have travel stress. Particularly, I stay in Mumbai. I do commute with trains. So during that time, I have highest cravings of having, I do face high stress levels, and I do have what we say fog, brain fog, or I do feel like, okay, I cannot work. That comes because I have low in energy and I did not had a meal in past 1 or 2 hours. So you need to understand your body well. Okay, it is asking for food right now. So you can have these options that are quick and easy on the go. Store-bought hummus, I wouldn't suggest store-bought hummus. You can prepare it on a weekend. You can have it for the next 2-3 days. That would be a easy option, because store-bought hummus, what happens? It is high in fat, and secondly, it is high in salt too. So which is not good for you. Again, there would be an imbalance of electrolyte. Okay. Secondly, now coming to dark chocolates. Dark chocolates, we do like chocolates, but the chocolates which we get, Dairy Milk to sabne khai hogi yahan pe. Dairy Milk hai, then there is what we say, Lindt chocolates, which are high in sugar, or munch kha liya humne, or we get Mars or chocolates. We have that. Specifically, we have seen that ad of Snickers. Just have a bite of Snickers and you're good to go. Have anyone seen that ad? Snickers ka Mahindra Dhoni wali ad. Anyone?
Yes, very much.
So Snickers are something again rich in sugar, and also rich. It is rich in protein too. But yes, Snickers are something which is rich in sugar, which gives you energy, quick energy. But it is again, it will manage your cravings. But it contributes to your fat percentage. See, I am co-linking this together because I have seen things like when you have high weight, you have higher chances of facing with fatigue, or you feel low in energy more often. Yes, sure. And now when we come to like dark chocolate, try and include 70% dark chocolate over here. Other than that, you can include things like which will help in calming your mind, like green tea, chamomile tea, lavender tea, which works on your anxiety, which gives you good sleep, that you can include. Okay, it helps in managing and promoting relaxation. And lastly, fruits. Fruits are the quick and easiest option, like papaya, banana, watermelon, fruits which are seasonal, like your peaches, plum, dragon fruit can be included. Antioxidant rich foods like berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries can be included over here. So these are the small, quick and easy tips that can be taken over here, which can be included on a day-to-day basis. I hope these tips are quite quick. These tips are takeaways for you. Last 4-5 pointers that I would like you to take away from here is practice mindful eating. You can give in for your cravings for once in a while, but not more than that. Be conscious about how your body is reacting to what food that you're eating. Do not rely yourself on caffeine. It will give you a boost of energy, but it will surely not help you for a longer duration. Try to take breaks in between your work timings, like 5 to 10 minutes of break would keep you energized, and also you can work on it. Secondly, go for annual checkups. Specifically, when I told you about B12, iron, magnesium, these are equally important because it does contribute to your mental fatigue. Lastly, coming to your foods which are responsible for your brain function, which I mentioned before, that can be included on a day-to-day basis. Last point, equally very much important, which we forget during these, specifically during winters and rainy season, is to keep ourselves hydrated. 10 glasses of water is required on a day-to-day basis. Minimum of 10 glasses, so that you are keeping yourself hydrated well. So I hope these takeaway small pointers is helping you, and you will be implementing on a day-to-day basis so that you can avoid mental fatigue. And plus, if you are facing anxiety, it will help in managing that too. Anyone has any questions or in particular?
Ma'am, I have one specific question that, mostly stress affects your sleep, right? The first impact is on your sleep because your mind is probably going all over the place. Now, what pointers would you have to kind of settle this?
First thing would be to keep your phone away before you sleep. 30 minutes before you sleep, keep your phone away. Secondly, avoid late night meals. Keep a gap of 2 hours of gap between your meals and your sleep. And secondly, also try and include chamomile tea. Chamomile tea helps in soothing your mind, first thing, and also promotes good sleep so that you stop overthinking. You can include that on a day-to-day basis. And lastly, what I have experienced, when you exercise, it helps in calming your mind. You get tired and you get quick sleep. So that can be practiced on a day-to-day basis. I hope I have answered your question.
Absolutely, ma'am. Bullseye. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Ayushi.
Do we
Lovely.
have any questions? If we have any questions, you can take it up now. I request Parisha to please share the next two poll questions. I request everyone to please answer the poll questions now. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much, Pooja and Ayushi, for providing so much information on mental health and nutrition. Everything you suggested was very useful and practical to implement. So thank you so much. I thank the audience for being so interactive. Thank you, Manjula ma'am, for all your inputs as well.
Thank you so much.
I would like to inform you all that we also have some exciting sessions this month on job readiness, such as LinkedIn profile building, interview preparations, question and answers with HR experts, and the AWS Discovery Day by Amazon. Priya, can you please share the link in the chat box? So all of you who are working professionals or looking for jobs, or who just want to learn something new, so these sessions are for everyone, so please do attend them. Priya, did you share the link? Priya or Farisha, anyone? So thank you so much. Thank you to the AFH team, the Josie team, and Brisk Olive for putting up this wonderful session.
Thank you so much.
everyone.
Very much.
Yeah, so Farisha has shared the link. So for those of you who want to, attend all our job readiness sessions, you can click on this link. Thank you. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much, everyone. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.